Y'all, I want y'all to know that I am in the fight of my life. At least that's what I feel like anyway. I woke up this morning. My mom called as I was getting ready for work, and she asked me how my boys was doing. She asked me how I was doing. I tell her that the boys are good, but I said, Mommy, my spirits are low. I said, my spirits are low because I'm tired. It's really difficult working as an educator, knowing that prior to you even having kids, that you were advocating for other people's children. So, again, to be an educator and then to have kids and to understand what's going on in the schools and what these schools are supposed to be doing and what they are not doing, whether it's because they don't have the resources or they just don't have the heart to do the job and see past disruptive behaviors, which are actually disability-based behaviors, and just love on the child. So that's difficult for me. I've explained this time and time again, but I have two boys, and they have like a myriad of disabilities. I mean, my oldest is 8. He was diagnosed with autism some months back, although I first had him tested a couple of years ago because I was seeing the signs. But he has autism, he has ADHD, he has an anxiety disorder, not just anxiety, but he has a disorder. He has a speech delay, sensory processing disorder, and sensory modulation dysfunction, right? I am the type of parent that when I notice certain things, I take them to the doctor. They are seeing different type of specialists. I mean, I'm doing whatever I can, not just to make my life easier, but I want things to be okay for my babies. I want the world that they live in. I want them to just be okay. I want them to be okay in their own skin and grow up to be productive citizens without disabilities crippling or interfering with their lives to the point to where they're always dependent on someone, me in particular, because if we go according to the natural life cycle where, I leave this world before my children, which I hope so, they got to be okay out here in this world, without me. But anyway, we have an ARD yesterday. I am currently battling the district that they go to school in, and it just behooves me that a district, not just a campus or an educator, individual educator, but a district can almost side on the side of wrong. And you know what? I shouldn't say a district because it's not the entire district. I haven't had contact with the entire district. But the individuals that I have come across just have been complicit in wrongdoing. So during this ARD yesterday, which was actually a continuation ARD or reconvene because we didn't finish the ARD that we had a couple of weeks ago, or last week, I think it was. So anyway, we go back to ARD today, and I just ran down the number of disabilities that my baby has, okay? And so they were telling me things like, would you just talk to Casey? Would you just have a conversation with him so he can do more work? He needs to spend more time working. And so I'm looking, and anytime I get annoyed or agitated, I start to smile or laugh. And so I never go into these meetings acting ignorant. I'm not belligerent. I'm not out of character, right? Mind you, this is a recorded meeting. So I have about 11 people on this recorded ARD. Compliance, people from the compliance department for the district. So that lets you know that there have been several issues if you have multiple individuals from compliance that are basically permanent fixtures in every ARD that I have. Well, anyway, she, along with some other ARD, this individual with some other ARD committee members, they're all in agreement that he can learn, but he just doesn't want to do the work. And I said, did you just hear what I said? Do you just think that he doesn't want to do the right thing, that he doesn't want to be compliant? He has attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. This is how I'm talking to them. And it was the best I could do, really, without flipping my top in this meeting, right? I'm so disturbed with these people. I've had to file multiple TEA complaints. It's to the point where I know they're retaliating against me. I don't know how many conversations we've had about why they think that my child is fit for a behavior unit. So again, as I'm sitting in this ARD and I'm trying to convince these people that my child has multiple disabilities. The reason we're in the ARD is to discuss these disabilities, okay? He's been having an IEP now for a couple of years. So they're aware of these disabilities, but yet and still, they say, can I talk to him to make him do more work? This was the stupidest thing to me, right? Yeah, I don't know, but it made me think about how many parents allow school districts to have ARD proceedings without them. Don't ever do it. I sit in ARDs. That is my job. I am a special education teacher. Not only am I a special education teacher, but I am a base teacher. I am a behavior teacher, okay? I don't care what. Always be an advocate for your child. Nobody is an expert on your child but you. That's it. I don't care how many hours a day they spend at the campus. Nobody knows my child like me. I understand his behaviors. Don't call me leading with he threw an iPad, because I'm going to ask you what happened before that. Do not lead with he hit a student, although he's not hitting students. But I'm just making an example. You know, don't lead with whatever you feel the disruptive behavior is, because I'm going to ask you what happened before that. What is the antecedent? What triggered this behavior? Because neither one of my boys, neither one of my children, they are not aggressive. They are not aggressors. They are not antagonists. Although you have the adults that are in this school that have been these things that I name, okay? So I'm just going to tell you, educator, to parents, and maybe other educators, whoever sees this video, but really parent to parent, mommy to mommy. If you are not available for an ARD time that has been set, notify them, okay? It has to be a mutually agreed upon time. I don't care what you have to do. Be available during your child's ARD. Ask the questions. Never let them speak for you. Never let them speak up for you, because I'm telling you, they're going to do what's best most oftentimes for their campus. Meaning, if they don't have the staff, because that's what I'm dealing with currently. Staffing shortages. That's an operations issue. That's a district issue. That's not my issue, and that's not my baby's. Okay? So just make sure you're present at all times.